As the Scottish Premiership presses pause this midweek because we have some European action, of course, make sure to follow on the channel, guys, alright? Rangers Kiev, St Mirren taking on Tromso, and Kelly taking on Bran. Might have got those two switched around the wrong way because obviously we've got Norwegian against Scotland. Norwegian against Scotland? Let's just scrap Scotland against Norway, and Rangers are taking on Kiev, right? So we've got eyes focused on Europe, but obviously Chris Sutton doesn't, because Celtic are already in Europe, alright? They are in the Champions League, but they are in deep trouble potentially, because Matt O'Reilly could be leaving, and that's not good, because you want to keep your best players. And Chris Sutton has took to Twitter to voice his displeasure at the rumour of Brighton being the latest club linked with Matt O'Reilly. Now, of course, I don't think the Brighton move is looking more increasingly likely than other moves that have looked in the past for O'Reilly. I think the biggest move that looked like it could be on was probably Atletico. They're the club that's bid money, and that was in January. As for Atalanta, well, I mean, I don't ever think it was a serious enough bid. It was never really being taken serious by Celtic. When you're bidding like third and fourth bids, and it's pretty much the exact same as your first bid, it's like, what's even the point? Like you see in FIFA and Football Manager, I know that's not how football works, everybody, right? But it's like you test the water and then you're like, you know what, I'll just pay the money. At Atlanta, I just didn't get the memo. As for Brighton, Chris Sutton, not too impressed. He obviously had these focal opinions when Rodgers left Celtic 5.5 years ago to go to Leicester. He was talking about the fact that Leicester's a diddy club, and why is Rodgers left? Rate of Celtic are massive. Why has he done that? And I'm feeling very similar energy here with his talk towards Brighton, because of course Brighton linked today with breaking the Scottish transfer record for O'Reilly. They've got the money, but they don't have European football this season. But this is what Sutton said. With the greatest respect to Brighton, who are a brilliantly run club, I think Matt O'Reilly should set his sights higher. I'd like to see him give it one more go in the Champions League with this current Celtic team. So unless it's a big enough move, stay one more season. End of tweet. So again, he's pretty much saying to Brighton, right, he's a brilliantly run club, but that's all he's are. He's not a big club. He's not even a medium-sized club. You're just brilliantly run. You bring players in for cheap and you sell them for big. And I think Matt O'Reilly could further that argument for Brighton. I think if they signed O'Reilly for 20 million, I wouldn't be surprised if they were easily doubling that in a couple of years. Premier League tax, whatever you want to call it, that's just what happens. People can say what they want, but when you see players like Anthony, which I seen Mark Goldbridge greeting today because Julian Alvarez looks like he's going from City to Atletico Madrid for 80 million. He's a FUD of the highest order, by the way, alright? And this is why. He was greeting about Man City selling Julian Alvarez for 80 million. I think 80 million might be a tad steep, right? For that Julian Alvarez. But at the end of the day, that's a World Cup winner. That's a brilliant player. He's 24, he's a young prospect, proven at every level of football, pretty much won every trophy in his career. Right? And he's playing second fiddle to literally the best striker in the world, Erling Haaland. But it's like Manchester United have spent 80 million on Maguire, 80 million on Anthony. Manchester United are the team that's I probably think that have saturated this fucking market over the past decade. Then with PSG, with the likes of signing, Neymar for how much they signed them for, etc., and Mbappe. They are the teams I think that have completely fucked up football with these transfer fees. Obviously, up here in Scotland, we are, we don't have the money, etc., and it's just, we don't have the commercial appeal to the big money signings. So yeah, I thought I'd just go on a wee mini rant there. I'm not going to make a separate video on Goldbridge, but I do think he is a FUD, right? Blaming Manchester City. Man City, right, will get what's coming to them, but he's trying to pretend that Man City's ruined the transfer market. No, teams like United have ruined it more than City. Because, say what you want about Man City, right? When did they really sign players for big money and they've turned out to be duds? Even players that they've sold recently, Sterling, yeah, he's a dud at Chelsea, and Mahrez and etc., all the way to Saudi Arabia, but they won a shit ton at City. I don't get it. As for O'Reilly, I think it's a wee bit unfair on Brighton to a degree, but I do agree with the Sutton line because Celtic do look improved, and maybe they'll do better this season than they did last season in the Champions League. And hell, if Celtic continue playing the way they've played, factor in the European football, maybe they could make even more money in January when that transfer window comes knocking. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below, and peace.